teaching the skills to women and children to boost their self-esteem and create a healthy and positive environment. Now today, we haven't been on here in a while, so we're back. And just had a lot of things going on that I lost my Crojo for a minute. And I heard I was out of town for a minute. I had a family issue going on. And took some yarn, but I didn't take a lot. And it just I left my cell phone, so I was just doing, operating by my tablet. It was just a lot. So we weren't on for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We weren't on. Hello, MLA Creation. So we weren't on at all. So we're back now. And I thought it would be good to talk about when you lose your Projo. And Projo is when you just don't feel like crocheting, just don't feel like doing any of that. So what do you do when you lose that, when that goes away? If you want to talk about it, feel free to come on and tell us what you do. How you, how you handle that? Do you just let it go out, way out, or do you do something to get it back? Because I know people that have a crochet business, they it's hard to not have that going on, and you have to do something because you may have orders to do things to take care of, make your money. So, how are you doing? So you have to get your Kojo back. So there are ways that you can do that. I went on Google and found some things, and it's a person called MPG Made with Love. That's a good resource, and there was another one too. I don't have it here, but you can go on, and I just took some of the pointers from there. It's things you could do, and one thing you can do is take a break, and which is a good thing to do. And with me, I did take a break. It wasn't an anticipated break. I did take a break. Um, get off social media is another. Go somewhere that inspires you, whether the mountains inspire you, the beach inspires you, whatever inspires you, do that. And I find that could be way to go to the mountains, go to nature. Any of that you can do. Don't do a lot of projects. As, as soon as I got back, it was just things I wanted to do. It's like just concentrating on one at a time. Don't do a whole lot unless you want to put that down and just have a small one. Because sometimes when we have a big project, you may want to put that small, big one down and just do something small in between. Another one is do something for someone else. That could be somebody that's needy, a family member, or something that will make your heart brighter and do that. Another one is get organized, de-stash. Now, when you, some people can work with clutter and things go constantly going on. I used to be that way, but I'm getting to the point where I'm going to the other way of things have to be in order for me to do anything. Getting to that point, because some people they can do that, and then other people need to have order and things situated where they can actually do things. So whichever one is you, just maintain that. Because it's hard to get creative when you have your yarn is tangled. You don't have your hooks. Your hooks are lost or misplaced. It's hard to get creative and productive. Because I spend a lot of time untangling yarn. And that's whenever I move or I have yarn in different places. So for some reason, it seems like they just mesh together and just tangle. So I find a tangled mess and I'm spending a lot of time trying to get that yarn untangled. And it is a mess. And just like with the hooks. But I have multiple hooks, so I have them in different places. I may have a container that has hooks in it. I may have a bag that has hooks in it. And I have multiple hooks in the same size. Like I have two of these. So if I lose it or whatever, I would have another one to go to. So that's a good thing to do too. Is to if you especially if you have a favorite hook or one you use a lot, get more than one hook. So that's what you do. Then also into the organization, what we're doing at Hook for You now is we're getting rid of yarn. I don't use a lot of it. Some yarn I've had for a while. They're in little plastic bags. I know when I first started my business, I Premier Yarn was my best friend, and I was just constantly buying. The Premier had a lot of yarn that was different, and they had like a lot of Isaac Miss Rocky yarn, and they just had different types of yarn. So I did a lot for a lot of yarn to stock up, starting my business. So a lot of it I have used it for years, and it's still good yarn. And what we're gonna do is when we good morning or good afternoon. I don't know what is right now, but how are you doing? So this is the yarn right now that we're selling right now. I have others too, so I will be periodically selling yarn. This comes in different colors. I have a lot of it, and but this is the color that I'm selling today. And I have six skeins of this yarn. And it's called it's was Premier Yarn City Life. Okay, and the color is City Rain. And it has like a turquoise blue, white, and black. And it's ladder yarn, Ladder. And you can see how it looks here. And with this yarn, you can make necklaces and do cows, and you can do different things with this yarn. So if you want this yarn for $25, if that includes shipping, you can get this. And as I said earlier, we have other colors too, other colorways. There's some that has pink in it. There's some that has red in it. There's black one. There's some that has other kind of colors. So I will be showing them periodically. And before I put them on something like eBay, I'm going to just offer it to you all at that price. Okay? So if you want it, let me know. And if you have another color that you're interested in, I'll show you what other colors I have. Okay. So, um, another thing you can do is to change your setting. Just go someplace else and crochet. Don't crochet in the same place. Um, challenge yourself, which is something I want to be doing myself after the holidays, is to challenge myself to do other types of crochet. Um, find new techniques. There's one technique I've been doing off and on, and I'll get back to it, is doing the graph band. So that's how I'm going to challenge myself. So what would you do to challenge yourself? Who's ready for the holidays? Who's ready? Who's ready to make new things? Or who has the holidays wrapped up. I polish color cosmetic now. Who has to tell me what they do to get back into the groove of crocheting? Let me know what do you do when you get out of it. 'Cause for a while, I wasn't really doing anything with that. Every so often, I'll pick it up and I'll make something. Like I said, I just had a few skeins of yarn with me, and so I didn't want to have a whole bag full of just yarn. So I didn't have a lot of variety. Do things with things that I may have wanted to do, but I didn't do it. So, what's your ideas? What do you do to get excited to do? Do you have a certain mindset, mind frame? There's certain things you say to yourself. What is it? What's I watch YouTube and Facebook related to the crochet. Okay, okay, cool. I watch YouTube and Facebook. The type that you do. Now I'm on this site right here. I don't know who you are. Can you just give me your name? So you do the Addie, okay, crochet Addie class. Okay, okay, cool. I don't, for some reason, I cannot know who I change, yeah, change phones, so it's just different now. Trying to get things back to the way they were before. Okay, okay. How you doing, Sherelle? Nice to meet you. Now we are on, so we're back on schedule right now, but on some days we may have to do videos. It may not always be a live. It just depends. On Wednesday we will be on later. So we'll probably be on at that night. So if you're available, join us and we'll be just be doing something different. I think what we're gonna do, we had started great, but we had started a project before the hiatus, but we'll get back into that using a specific stitch. So what we'll do is we'll get back into that starting on Wednesday. But we will be on later on Wednesday. We won't be on at 1 o'clock. Then Friday, we'll be back to normal. Right now, what I'm doing since the winter time, I am back to doing cows. Um, if you're on the replay, feel free to comment, make your comments known on what you like to do. This is probably something that we'll talk about on a regular, because we are also into the positive parts of crochet, crafts in general. How do you, um, how it affects you? Sometimes you may not be doing it because of something that's going on. So just want to just get that going of what you can do to make things easier for crochet. Hey, Carol. So that's what we're trying to do. But just focus on what you need to do to get that back in, especially if it's something that you love to do. Get get back in it. Um, when I was, I, as I've said earlier, I crocheted when I was a child. So when I started having kids and got married and all that, excuse me, I stopped. I stopped for a while. I didn't crochet for a while, but I was still by young. But I would, excuse me, I wouldn't do a lot of crocheting. Um, Crocheting and sewing, two things I was doing before, and I wasn't doing any of that. So I think as time went on, I started doing it. Then when I started working and kids got older and stuff, then I started back crocheting. Um, and I started crocheting more than I did. Yeah. Um, realize that when you have something that you feel you're good at or you enjoy doing, keep it up. But that takes away the stress that you're going through. Crochet has a lot of stress um, properties that for purposes, health purposes, psychological purposes, such. They have a lot of positive benefits. So, and then when I was working and job was stressful, crocheting was it. Now I would take it to work and at lunchtime I would crochet. We would have classes at lunchtime. We would meet and crochet together. So we did that. That's something that's positive, and that's something I encourage people to do at work if they work in a stressful place. Take your stuff with you on your lunch out. Get a crochet group together. Do that, and that's also another thing, another something else you can do to get your Crojo back is get social. And that means to crochet with other people. Find a group of women you crochet with and have a good time. It's just like we have a group that gets together every other week and we crochet. We don't just talk about crochet, we talk about a lot of things and while we crochet. We discuss crochet, but we also talk about other things. Nothing too too strong. Talk about, no, talk about politics really, and things that are controversial. We don't do a lot of that. We don't talk about things like that. Most of the stuff was lighthearted, and we talked about cats the last time, different things. Um, funny things about what they did. We just talk about all kinds of things while we're crocheting, and that makes it a lot easier and a lot better. So, and we also welcome people to join us, to come and join us while we crochet. So if you're looking for some place to some women to crochet with once a week, once every 2 weeks, just let us know. But mainly the group is for fundraising. And they're fundraising for charity. And also what we do mostly with that is we do cancer related crocheting. But also since it's wintertime and I had come back from DC, while we would while I wasn't online, I was in DC, my home, and there's a lot of homeless people. Where I live now, I don't see it. Not saying it's not here, but it's a lot in DC. So I'm partnering with someone to get some things to her so she can give to some homeless people. So if you have things, um, you give scarves, maybe hats, winter hats, we would accept that. So right now, our mission is warming up, making sure, because I've seen a lot of homeless people and hints and things like that when I was in DC. I shorty J Sweets, and so we're gonna just keep them warm. So right now I'm doing cows right now. We take blankets off. We take blankets off. So that's it may don't know what the weather forecast is, but it may be cold. It's cold anyway when you have to be outside like that. The tents are good. I mean, I guess, but you still need something to keep you warm. Also, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, depending on what format you're looking at us from. We're on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Mondays, the most time is for things like talk about yarn and different things. So we're not talking about yarn today, but we're still talking about crochet. And Wednesdays and Fridays are most times actual crocheting something, either doing a project or learning a stitch. If you have any requests, any questions, feel free to bring that up. Also, another thing for your Crojo is to try is to do another craft. That means if you are a knitter or you want to learn how to knit, just do something different for a minute. Um, you sew, do that, but just find another, maybe cards. You may do scrapbooking, needlepoint. So do that. That will help you out too. But you're still doing something crafty, and that will help you out. And I'm working with this black yarn. Normally I don't have a problem with black yarn, but it's a black velvet yarn. It is hot. Don't forget if you're interested in the yarn, let me know. If you may be interested in another color that yarn, let me know what color you're thinking about, and I'll just show you what I. As for right now, it's this yarn here, and it's 6 skeins for 25. That includes shipping. Okay. And periodically, I'll be showing the other one too. And I'm going to just do this before I put it on another site that I'll offer. And it's made out of 64% polyamide. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 23% acrylic, 13% uh, glitter. And this is good for some for the holidays and things. This will be good for that. And as I said, you can make necklaces with it, and you can do cows and things like that. It's a medium yarn and it uses the H hook. If you have any topics you want to discuss, let me know. We are on HAPS TV, which is a format that has the multi-streaming format. So on that one, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. So if you're looking through HAPS, if you're looking through YouTube, We're also on apps. Yeah, we're on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And we're on Facebook. We're on my business page and the personal page. And sometimes apps have a bad reception here, so that's happening. Let's be patient. And we're also on Instagram. Aunt Dog 1960. So on Wednesday, we'll start back with our project that we started before, and I'll give instructions on what you need. We was doing the lock's foot stitch. So what I'll do is I'll start back over on that. So what we're going to do is make a small blanket. It's hard to get in the actual stitch. So anyone beyond lashes by Morris. How are you doing? Anyone wants to let us know what they do to get their Crojo back? Or even just get their mojo back? 'Cause everyone on here is not a crocheter. When you're using these big hooks, it can be maneuvers. So what's everybody working on? Anybody? Oh, I'm trying to keep doing that. So I might have to frog it and do another type of stitch. But I want it to be closer together, which I'm going to have to. That's what happens when you have a big hook. Folks, you don't want to really careful and gauge it. How everybody doing? We're also going to do some things. I have some things in the works to do on YouTube. We're not really present on YouTube yet, but there'll be some things coming up with YouTube. What I'm going to do now with this is I'm going to do a half double crochet stitch with this. Instead of doing a double crochet, I'm going to do the half because I want it to be closer. I want that fold. That's what happens. It's kind of yarn. And another thing that I find to do with getting things back is to start. Is to if you are into music, is to just turn on the music. No, no TV. Maybe turn the TV off. But sometimes that can be a distraction. Sometimes it depends on what you're looking at, and but listen to music may work if you don't have to be looking at these things. But what you're looking at, a lot of times I'm looking at stuff on the ID channels, things like that, and that can sometimes distract you. So, so listen to some music, whatever music you like, may work. That's better. That's better. Closer together. But now, back into the groove. And it's, now it's close. You don't see those holes. I just changed the stitch. Double crochet stitch to a half double crochet stitch. Okay. So that's what I wanted to come on today and talk about was how to get your Crojo or Mojo back. So we'll take a break, get off social media, go somewhere that inspires you, get active, go outside and adventure. Simplify your project list. Focus on one work in progress. De-stash and organize your yarn. Get organized. Do a different class. Challenge yourself. Go social. Change the setting. And crochet for some. Again, I am Pamela Chase, the lead hooking specialist for Hook to You, where we're dedicated to the crochet of and these classes, either stitch-based classes or project-based, and we do one-on-one, do group classes. Right now, we're just doing it online. We give away items for charity. And I talked about it earlier, where we mainly do things for cancer, specifically breast cancer. We do a hats for that, and we participate in events that involve with breast cancer. We do that. But now we're also going to give things to the homeless. I think right now, I think I'm going to do it for DC. We're going to supply things to people who have organizations that, smaller organizations that service the homeless. Because yeah, I had noticed when I was in DC, a lot of people in tents, and I transport information with P. I've noticed a lot of people in tents and such. And though it wasn't cold this weekend, it may get colder, so they're going to need something, some things to keep them, to help keep them warm. That's what we're going to do. And then we also sell unique items. We mostly do towels and hats, some blankets. We do blankets and other things. We don't do a lot of customize, we do some. Don't do a lot of closing. Just do some. And that's what Book for You is about. I've been in business since 2015. Started when I was 14. That's what we're about. So until Wednesday, and on Wednesday, remind you we won't be on at 1. We'll be on later out for the information on Wednesday. What time we'll be on? We'll probably so until Wednesday. Have a creative day. Be safe. Bye bye.